The Elysee Palace has seen royalty, power, and history. But nothing quite like this. When Eala stepped into Paris, French President Emmanuel Macron did something nobody expected. He cleared his entire schedule. Just for her. A presidential limousine. A private dinner. No cameras. No press. Just a 20-year-old girl from Manila sitting inside one of the most powerful buildings in the world. And it lasted nearly 3 hours. 3 hours behind closed palace walls. No one knows exactly what was said. But people inside the tennis world are already calling it unprecedented. Think about that for a second. Presidents don't do this. They don't send luxury cars to hotel lobbies for young athletes. They don't spend an entire evening talking about dreams and journeys with a tennis player the night before the French Open. But Macron did. And now everyone is asking the same question: what exactly happened inside that room? Nobody saw this coming. Paris, May 23, 2026. Nearly midnight. A black limousine pulls up outside Hotel Drillin, and Eala has absolutely no idea what's waiting inside. The streets. Still buzzing. French Open energy everywhere. Photographers, fans, flashing cameras, the whole city felt electric. But what happened next? Nobody predicted it. Here's the thing, the tournament hadn't even started yet. Main draw begins May 24, Roland Garros already alive with practice sessions, qualifiers, that nervous excitement only a Grand Slam brings. And Eala. She arrived in Paris like a queen. Filipino fans packed the airport. Flags waving. Her name echoing through the terminal. The French Tennis Federation honored her with a special medal before she'd even hit a single ball in the main draw. Paris had already claimed her as their own. But underneath all of it, she was running on empty. The flight from Mallorca had taken everything out of her. Back-to-back interviews, photo calls, media appearances, her body was tired, her mind even more so. And then there's the weight that nobody talks about, the millions of fans back home believing she could make history. That kind of love. It's beautiful, but it's heavy. So there she is. Exhausted, overwhelmed. The biggest tournament of her life hours away. And a mysterious limousine waiting outside her hotel at midnight. What happens next? Trust me, you need to keep watching. All she wanted was sleep. Room service ordered. Hot shower done. Bed calling her name. Then her phone buzzed. Her agent, Yong Aiko. One message: don't go to sleep. Someone is coming. Alex stared at the screen. Midnight. Eve of the French Open. Who visits at this hour? 15 minutes later, another message. Come downstairs. Alone. The lobby was dead quiet. The concierge gave her a nod. The security guard opened the door without a word. Something felt different. Something felt big. Then she saw it. A sleek black limousine. Tinted windows. Diplomatic plates. And right there beneath the Paris lights, the unmistakable seal of the French Republic. The rear door opened slowly from the inside. A sharply dressed official stepped out. Calm. Composed. And then he said it. Miss Eala. The president is waiting. She froze. Emmanuel Macron, President of France, waiting for her. At midnight. Her eyes drifted back toward the hotel, toward her mother's room, toward the glowing windows, toward the city of Paris wrapped around her like a dream she wasn't sure was real. She thought about the fans at the airport. The flags. The chants. The movement that had grown bigger than tennis, bigger than anything she ever imagined carrying. One deep breath. She stepped in. The door shut softly behind her. And nothing would ever be the same. The engine hummed. The car moved. And Eala, 20 years old, from Manila, never won a main draw match at Roland Garros, was being driven straight to the most powerful address in France. She had no idea what was waiting inside. For over 300 years, the Elysee Palace had opened its doors for kings, queens, and world leaders. But tonight, the guards were expecting just one guest. A young tennis player from the Philippines. The limousine approached the iron gates. Security stepped aside without hesitation. The gates opened slowly, and there it was. The palace courtyard, glowing golden under the Paris night sky. Alex pressed her face toward the window. The stone pathway beneath the tires. The silent guards. The historic walls. The French flags moving gently in the cool night breeze. Every single detail felt impossible. Like a dream she hadn't earned yet, except somehow, she had. Because this wasn't a political visit. No formal agenda. No diplomatic protocol. What was waiting inside that palace was something far more personal. Something that had nothing to do with politics and everything to do with who Eala had become, not just as a tennis player, but as a symbol. The car rolled to a stop. The golden lights of the Élysée reflected against the windows. And somewhere inside those historic walls, the President of France was waiting to tell her something she would never forget. The courtyard was silent. No cameras. No journalists. No chaos. Just the kind of quiet that makes your heart beat louder. The limousine stopped at the foot of the grand staircase. A uniformed attendant stepped forward and opened the door. "Bienvenue, Miss Eala." She stepped out slowly, heels clicking against the cobblestone. And right then, it hit her. She'd packed for tennis, training sessions, press conferences. Not this. Never. A senior aide greeted her at the entrance with a calm smile. "The president is waiting in the Salon des Fêtes. He's been looking forward to this all evening." The Salon des Fêtes, one of the most legendary rooms in France. Crystal chandeliers, painted ceilings, gold-rimmed china, polished silver. A room built to make world leaders feel both honored and small. Alex walked through those massive doors, and stopped. The hall was nearly empty. No grand banquet. No rows of diplomats. Just one table, small. Intimate. Set for two. And standing beside it, rising to greet her with a warm, genuine smile, was Emmanuel Macron. He crossed the room with his hand extended. "Alex," he said. "Thank you for coming. I know it's late. I know you have a match tomorrow." He paused. "But I couldn't let you start this tournament without telling you something important." And Alex, who had faced match points, pressure, and packed stadiums, could do nothing but stare. What was he about to say? The noise stopped. The pressure, the tournament, the millions watching, all of it vanished inside that room. Just two people. One table. And a conversation that had nothing to do with tennis. Alex shook his hand carefully, still processing, still disbelieving. "Mr. President," she managed softly. "I'm honored." Macron smiled. "The honor is mine." They sat. A server appeared, poured water into crystal glasses, arranged the silverware, then disappeared without a sound. The enormous hall faded around them. Nothing else existed. And then Macron looked at her. Not like a politician studying a celebrity. Like someone genuinely trying to understand what she represented. He leaned forward. "I watched your matches in Rome," he said. "Not just the tennis. I watched the people. The flags. The chants. I saw grown men crying after your wins. I saw children believing they belonged on that stage, because of you." Alex stayed silent. Listening. Waiting. "I've spent decades in politics," he continued. "I've seen movements form. I've watched leaders rise. But what's happening around you?" He paused. "This is different. This is bigger than sport." He locked eyes with her across the table. "People call it the Eala effect. But I don't think it's an effect at all. One beat of silence. I think it's a revolution. And France wants to be part of it." The words landed like a punch. A revolution. France wanting to be part of it. Alex leaned forward. "What do you mean, Mr. President?" Macron unfolded his hands slowly. The chandeliers glowed above them. And then he said it with complete, unshakable seriousness. "I did not invite you here simply for dinner. I invited you because you represent something far bigger than tennis." He paused. "I'm inviting you to become an ambassador. Not for France, but for the Filipino community living here. For the overseas workers who built lives in this country through sacrifice. For the families who spent decades feeling invisible despite everything they gave." Then he reached into his jacket. A slim leather folder. Embossed with the seal of the French Republic, placed gently on the table between them. This, he said, sliding it toward her, is a cultural exchange program between France and the Philippines, funded by the French government. Scholarships for young Filipino athletes to train here, study here, and chase opportunities that once felt impossible. Alex stared at the folder, speechless. Then Macron smiled quietly. And it will be named after you. Her hand flew to her mouth. The Alex Eala Scholarship. He said. A legacy that will outlive rankings, trophies, and championships. The folder sat there between them, carrying a weight no trophy ever could. Because this wasn't about one tournament anymore. This was about every young Filipino kid who would now dare to dream, because she had walked that path first. And Macron. He simply watched her. Patient, silent, giving her the moment she deserved. He didn't rush her. Didn't push. Didn't pressure. Just sat there, hands folded, letting the weight of the moment breathe. And inside that quiet room, Alex Eala finally understood. This had nothing to do with politics, nothing to do with publicity. This was about legacy. Mr. President, she whispered, voice barely holding together. I don't know what to say. This is more than I ever imagined. Macron smiled softly. You don't have to say anything, not tonight. He glanced at the folder, then back at her. The offer will still be there. After the French Open. After Wimbledon. After the US Open. No deadline. No pressure. He paused. This is not a negotiation. It is simply an invitation. Alex studied him carefully. An invitation to what? Macron leaned back slowly. And when he spoke, every word landed with purpose. An invitation to become a symbol. Not just of Filipino excellence, but of what happens when sport becomes something greater than competition. When an athlete becomes a movement. When a young woman from Manila reminds the entire world that success isn't measured only by trophies or rankings, he let the silence do the rest. But by connection, inspiration, and hope. The words hung in the air between them. Heavy, still, permanent, like something that could never be unsaid. Her hands were trembling. I never asked to be a symbol, she whispered. I just wanted to play tennis. Macron didn't flinch. He nodded slowly. The people who changed the world never asked for it either. Mandela didn't. Mother Teresa didn't. History chooses people, whether they're ready or not. He looked straight at her. And Alex, the world has chosen you. Outside, Paris kept moving. Unaware that inside these walls, a 20-year-old from Manila was being offered something no trophy could ever give. A place in history. I'm not asking you to become a politician, Macron said gently. Just keep fighting. Keep carrying your flag. Keep making your people feel seen. Her eyes glistened. The weight of everything, the palace, the night, the responsibility, sitting heavy on her shoulders. I need time, she finally said. Take all you need, he replied warmly. Then he smiled, glancing at the untouched plates. But first, let's eat. You have a match tomorrow. And just like that, the tension broke. Drop a Philippines if you're cheering Alex all the way. Subscribe, because this story isn't over yet.